The very first New Jersey DJ to have his own radio show segment on commercial radio here in New York, Hot 97. Please, Brick City, show your love for Drewski. DJ Drewski.
Yeah, Newark, what's up? Make some noise. And make some noise for the legendary Rod Digger.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here, especially in Newark, with you. I'm like the cousin next door. I'm from Elizabeth, New Jersey. So shout out to anybody from Elizabeth. But we like the,
Yeah,
cousins.
we definitely cousins. I hate that we're so far away from y'all, but for camera purposes, because this is a live podcast, so we have to have everything set up so that our episode looks right. So, hi, everybody. But yeah, we're going to jump right into some conversation. We're going to discuss a little bit about how radio works here, commercial radio, the difference transitioning from being an independent artist to actually getting your music on the radio. Now, real quick, before I talk to Drewski, let me ask you guys in the audience, is there anyone here who is an artist?
Okay.
Okay. Anywho, Drewski, hey, baby.
Everything is great. I'm blessed. Happy to be here. And thank you for coming out to the New Jersey music show with Uncle Vin Rock. And you held it down and everybody was excited to hear from you.
The new movement panel.
Yes, the new movement panel. Shout out to Poppy Stores. He was there. But if you didn't make it, we had a panel of just experts like Rod Digger and Uncle Vin Rock and all the artists that, left that place. They hit me up and was like, yo, thank you so much for having these people here. So, they learned a lot. In the 30 minutes she was up there, they learned so much, in 30 minutes. So thank you for always, putting on. And I heard you talking about how Lyrics Matter, does A&R work. And that's missing. All the artists that had their hand up when you just asked, they might not have an A&R, so for you to be here and guiding these artists, thank you so much.
Appreciate that. So just tell the people a little bit about your journey and how you came from, the humble beginnings of DJing to actually landing a serious slot on a huge New York commercial platform.
Right. Thank you for the introduction. So what she meant by that was Hot 97 started 33 years ago. And there hasn't been a New Jersey DJ to hold a full-time slot, like a daily spot on Hot 97 to this year. And that was, when I came in.
Clap it up.
Thank you. But that, that just goes to show the disconnect between Jersey and just, we're right next door. And it's it took this long. But I started at Hot 97 on paperwork in 2008. Prior to that, a year before that, back then you could just intern and not even have to sign nothing. You were just grinding it out. And I started interning for DJ Cypher Sounds, who was on Hot 97 at the time, and kind of just learned the ropes from him. I didn't go to school for radio. I was with Cypher Sounds, and I learned from Sirius XM, being at Hot 97, doing MTV stuff, and just learned so much. And since 2008 to now, because people think they hear DJ Drewski, they think, oh, it just happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it was a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of, just late nights, early mornings, putting in work, grinding, and using my platform each step of the way to give back. And I think that's what really helped me grow within those, 17 years I've been doing it. It's every step I was giving back, and whether it was local artists or creating showcases and, bringing people to the showcases to, look at these artists perform. And he watched me grow. It's it was a grind, and it wasn't overnight. It's almost 20 years and we're still doing it, still grinding, still helping. And that's where we are today.
Okay. So this next question, this is a two-part question. What was the first record that you feel like you broke on the radio? What's the record that is got in rotation because of you? And when did DJs breaking records get flipped to DJs having to play programmed
Right.
records?
We'll start with the second question, because as a young DJ coming into the game, I thought that was part of the DJ's job description, is to break records, especially where you're from, the region you're from, the town you're from. So before I even knew anything about radio or how to get into radio, I just always connected the DJ to breaking records. So I said, when I make it one day, that's what I want to do, because that's part of my job. It's not just to tear down the clubs and the parties. If I get a platform like a radio station, I want to break records. I don't know when that changed. I think for DJs, they started to become artists and not just DJs. And being a part of being an artist, they want to just stand next to what's hot at the time. So whoever was hot is who they connected themselves with, because it helps your brand as well. And I think that's where it kind of, maybe with social media and the internet. So if I'm a DJ at the time and 50 Cent is hot, I'm going to just stand next to him. Now, if T.I. is hot, even being a New York DJ, I want to stand next to T.I. because it makes me look bigger. So I think once we got into the internet social media world is when they stopped really focusing on breaking records and just standing next to what was hot. As far as artists goes, once I got my show on Hot 97, which was an hour mix show on Sunday nights, the first, not just record, but the first artist was A Boogie. At that time, he was a young kid, 16, 17, and I was just following his story. They did a big show at SOBs and sold out, and I'm like, yo, he's not even lit. How they selling out shows at SOB? It was BB King's at the time they sold out. And I'm like, I love what he's doing. I'm now in position to play new music. I fought for years because program directors at a radio station, when you go to them and say, I have a great idea, I want to play new artists, new music, they're like, yeah, all right, nobody's going to listen.
Right.
Play Drake, play Rihanna, play J. Cole. And finally they were like, okay, go ahead, try it. And he was one of the first artists to really break out, to mainstream radio and then become this big success story, and just watching him still continue to grow. But there's been so many artists from the tri-state that we broke, from Pop Smoke, first one to play Ice Spice, from the Jersey artists to Albie Owls, playing Albie Owl, and just the list goes on.
Big Jersey.
Yeah, shout out to Jersey artists. A lot of Jersey artists, even recently when I said, I'm gonna dedicate half the show to Jersey club music, and I went to the program director. People think it's just you could do what you want. You can't do what you want. So I went and I said, this is an idea I have. You guys trust me. I've been here long enough. I proved to you that my formula works. Let me take at least, and I'm smart. I didn't go for the whole hour. I said, let me take half the show and dedicate it to Jersey Club. And they were like, you think it's going to work? I'm like, no, I know it's going to work. And we did that. So, as I grow, I continue to bring that Jersey culture into what we do. And the next step is to say, yo, let me get a whole hour of Jersey music, not just club music, but just focus on Jersey artists. And but it's all part of the process. And when it comes to radio, to take steps like that, the program director, the music director, they have to believe in you enough to allow you to do it.
That's so dope.
Right. Because radio, they just want you to play the hits. And then people say, well, I hear the same songs over and over every time I turn on the radio. It's because there's a formula, there's research they do, and they know when a song plays, who's tuned in and for how long you're tuned in. So if I play a new song and somebody goes, oh, I don't know what this is, they'll switch the channels, and they can see when that happens. So there's sometimes even new artists, they're like, yo, you played it only 3 times. What? It's like, yo, they can see how long people tuned in. And that's why you hear sometimes the same records, because when you play Drake or you play Rihanna, you play Beyonce, people are not going to turn the channel. And that's what matters the most to the radio station. So that's the battle we fight as DJs up against these.
You actually almost answered my next question. So my next question for you was, what are radio programmers looking for? Like, what makes a song radio ready?
So now you're, competing with the internet and DSP.
And AI.
Right, AI, the internet, there's so many factors that go into it. But they just want people to stay tuned in. So whatever keeps the people tuned in, that's what they support. That's what they want. As soon as somebody switches the dial, They go, nah, that's, we can't afford that. We want people to stay tuned in. So even when I tell artists, when you're making records for the radio, because sometimes they're like, oh, I don't like that term. But there are records, you got to think of like that woman that's waking up to drive to work. And her commute might be 30 to 40 minutes. Within that time, she just wants to have a good time driving to work. She got to go to work. She doesn't want to be there. So that commute, you got to keep her entertained. So if you're making records that can't connect with her or the gentleman that's going, to school, it's not going to work. You got kind of keep in mind the audience. And that's why a lot of people, oh, well, my song ain't good for the radio. It's hit or miss. Sometimes there's records that you wouldn't even think could work on radio that do. But then there's records you might think, oh, this is a perfect radio record, and does nothing. So it is trial and error, but you got to kind of understand the audience as well.
See, one of the things I like to tell people, because I don't believe in like trying to create a hit. I feel like when you purposefully try to make a hit,
right,
you're always chasing trends.
Right.
So I always recommend artists and people to just do what you do. And if it hits, it hits. And you can kind of discern just from your own movement and your own algorithm if it's working for you or not.
Right.
So let me ask you this. When people, because I'm sure your inbox is getting flooded
of course,
with records, what is something that will make you just like if I'm a new artist and I'm an unknown artist and I'm trying to get my music to Drewski and I'm fortunate enough to land my record in your inbox, what is something that will make you keep playing as opposed to shutting it down immediately?
I think quality is one of the first things, because you got to think I'm listening to music at least like 15 hours a day. Right? I'm DJing at work, I'm home, I'm going through new music. So you can instantly at that point hear something that's good. And there's artists that are sending their records that are not mixed. Forget even mastered. There's records that are not mixed. And you're like, bro, you want me to play this on the radio? I can't. It's not mixed. The levels are all over the place. Your vocals are low and the beat is high and I can't. So it's like that instantly the quality of the record will, really help me decide, can I support this or not? But then there's times I play records that might not be the best quality, but I might have seen the artist, do a performance, and I'm like, wow, he killed the stage. His performance is great. I want to support it. Now I'll show love to keep the artist motivated, but it's like you have to get this mix to keep it going. But that's one of the first things is the quality of the music. And then of course, you can start breaking it down, like, just hooks and the writing on it. Some people have great pens and some people don't. But I think quality of the record is the most important to me.
Okay. How would an artist who say they're popping in their hood?
They all are.
They all are.
The hottest. I'm the hottest in my hood.
How is that artist able to connect with a person like yourself? I mean, and not necessarily you personally, but how does the artist who say they do have have a movement going on in their respective region, how are they able to transcend that into actual spins, commercial spins?
So with me, I can speak on me because I'm very active in the community. I'm active in the clubs. I'm outside a lot, so it's easy to connect with me. I'm open to listening to music or working with artists. Even, I have my own studio where I invite artists to come and play music. It's open. A lot of DJs, and I think people forget, right? Especially rappers, right? The real rappers, lyricists, they want to, they get upset because, I can't build a relationship with the DJ. You got to understand, DJs are very technical people, right? So they're like, borderline like geeks, nerds, right? Because you gotta be, that's just a lot of them gonna be like that because you're home, you've been practicing since a teenager, you stood home, you weren't outside, you were just learning your craft, building your craft. So a lot
It's
of
pretty much the same with rappers too.
Well, yeah. You see, like on stage is a whole different person.
See on stage, everybody's supposed to be rough and tough and raw.
Right.
But in real life, the rappers were the kids that were trying to stay out of trouble, so they landed themselves in the studio to stay away to get out the streets. So
right. So a lot of people
very parallel
feel like, oh, well, you play hip hop music. A lot of the DJs are like antisocial. You know, it's just they're very talented at what they do, and they do a good job at it. But they're not people, people. They don't want to talk to people. They just want to do what they do best. They do their job. And so it could be hard to connect with DJs at some point. Me, I'm more active outside. I do events. I'm in the community. Like I said, you could come to my studio. But even with social media now, like if you have a strong social media presence, we are going to see it. If you're really the hottest in your city or your hood or your block, it'll come to us, right? Because with social media, it's so much easier. I got people sending me videos all the time. Yo, check out my man, or the artist himself. Look at what I've done, So at some point it'll come to me, and I don't want to be the one to miss the boat. So that's why I'm on it early when I see some motion or some action, or if you got a good record. And that's the great thing with, social media. If you had social media in the 90s, it would be totally different, because you were very active at the
we would have gotten so much trouble if we had social media in the 90s.
But imagine it for your music if you were able to market.
Not that kind of trouble, y'all. Stop it.
Even without social media, she was getting in trouble. So, but, utilize social media. It's right here. I got it in my pocket. Like, you can send me your records. I'm active on it. I'm always on social media. A lot of the DJs are. They prefer to communicate from the phone or from the computer. But you got to utilize it. You can't feel like, but I sent 3 posts and you never looked at it. It's like, you got to be consistent. If this is really your dream and this is what you want to do, you can't stop after 3 posts because the DJ ain't look at it or respond to you. You have to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for 18 years. If I stopped when I first felt like nobody was paying attention, nobody was booking me, nobody supports me, I wouldn't be here today. So if you're an artist that really believe in yourself, you have to stay consistent. But use social media, keep building that buzz. At some point, they will see it. Like, I will hear about it. I will see it. It comes from different DJs. There might be a DJ in Jersey City that, there's an artist out here that's doing his thing. Drewski, you got to pay attention. There's an artist in Newark that's doing their thing. So it's like, it'll come to us if you're really out there working. If you're really the hottest, it'll come to us.
Let me ask you this. Is it okay for artists to approach you in the club? Like, if you're doing a DJ set, because that's typically where people
I don't
would
understand
see you.
that.
And you're busy. You're trying to entertain the club,
right?
Like, what is the cool way to slide you something without disrupting your motion?
If I'm in the club, the best way to approach it is not while I'm DJing, right? Because me in the club, the max I'm gonna be DJing is maybe 2 hours, the max. Like, don't wait till I start work to then try to send me your music or talk to me. It's like, I'm only here for an hour, 2 hours. I'm getting paid to be here, probably top dollar too. So I have to perform and do my job the best of my ability. And I can't have you, telling me you're the hottest artist while I'm working. So if you do see me in the club, try to approach me before I get on a set or after. I never understood, and she might be able to help with, psychology or whatever it is, but why someone would wait till you start DJing to tap you or, I got a song, can you, even playing it. Like, you want me to play a song that I never heard before in the middle of a club that I'm getting paid to do my job, right? So it's like, if you see me, try to get me before or wait till I'm done to approach me, because even that kind of is rubbing me the wrong way. Like,
usually before I know I could say this for me personally. Don't talk to me right before I'm going to get on the stage. Like, I'm trying to balance my chakras. I'm trying to channel that, I'm trying to peep the crowd and channel my energy. That's not the time to tell me about when you ran into me 20 years ago and stuff. Like, leave me alone right before the show. After the show, it's all good. We take pictures, we can take some shots, whatever the case may be. But so for any of you who are trying to pass music on, take the hint.
Right.
Feel it out. Don't just get excited when you see someone kind of. And this is true across the board for anybody. Just try to check the energy first. Mm-hmm. Read the room before you run up to someone and try to pass on music or just try to hold meaningless conversation. And I say that respectfully because a lot of folks just be out here babbling. I'm like, I know you waited all your life to say that to me, right? Your moment is here, and you just said what? So. Okay.
But I think people look at like what we do. They don't look at it like a job. They look at it like it's like fun.
They do not.
So I'm like, yo, you wouldn't go into the hospital and as soon as the doctor starts doing surgery, start tapping him and asking him questions. He's in the middle of his job. He's working. So respect what we do as artists the same way.
I was at a buffet once. I literally had the serving spoon in one hand and my plate in the other. And one of the waitresses asked me to kick a rhyme. I just looked at her. I'm like, I'm making my play. I'm like, I wanted to be like, are you dumb?
Right.
I'm like, no, sweetheart. But then she really doubled down like, oh, it's like that? I'm like, yeah, it's like that. Like, are you serious? She was serious though. I mean, I guess God bless her, but yeah, folks are crazy. So this is a fun question that I have for all my DJs.
Okay.
If you could swap DJ crates with any DJ in the world, who would you swap crates with?
R.I.P. to DJ Mr. C.
Ooh.
Mr. C, once crates no longer exist, unfortunately, but now we got the laptop.
I know. Forgive me. I'm showing my age when I say swap crates.
But we used to call Mr. C's laptop the Bible. That's how the way it was just organized, the amount of music he had in there. We called it the Bible. But Mr. C, had as a DJ everything you needed from different genres of music, not just hip hop music, and just very organized. Like he committed his life to his music, to his DJ craft. So it was like, if anybody, it would be DJ Mr. C.
R.I.P. Mrs.
Yeah,
okay, so I got to start asking that question different. I can't say swap crates because
it's still in the laptop. It's still crazy.
The people born in the 2000s is like, huh? What a crate? What do you mean?
Nah, if you a DJ, even if you look in his laptop, it's crates. They still call it crates. So
right.
The question's still, but I didn't want people to get confused.
See, I was born in the 1900s, so the DJs were carrying crates and swapping crates.
But yeah, Mr. C was, he was just different. Like different. No kids, no wife, music.
That was my baby. That was my favorite DJ too. I ain't capping just because you said it. That really was.
R.I.P. Mr. C.
Yes. R.I.P.
All right,
Mr. C.
Now we're getting ready to get into, because I want y'all to give it up one time for Rod Digger and DJ Drewski for being in this building, dropping this knowledge, because one thing we always talk about is people being gatekeepers. And here you have two of the dopest and most skilled, crafted individuals in their league, and they're here sharing their knowledge with you. And if you don't pick up what they putting down, poo-poo on you. Now, on that note, we're going to move into the question and answer part of this, podcast. If anybody has a Q&A, who's got a Q? Who's the first? Okay. Only because Poppy Stores is in it. But Poppy, come up here, Poppy. Poppy Stores is a local artist from Jersey. He's been putting it down for many, many, many years. Yes, energy. Okay. We actually have some very talented, amazing local artists. And here's the thing, right? If we don't love on each other and give each other this space to come in and share our knowledge, where are we going to go? Then we're going to talk about other people being the keepers of our culture. We also have Janetta Miranda in the building. Woo! I'm gonna bring her up in a minute, but then we talk about a local artist that has, she just put out her new EP, but Poppy Stores. What's the question for the people?
All right, so my question is, first of all, love both of y'all, family for life. All right, my question for Drewski is, I know we in the laptop era, but do you got what it takes to do 2 turntables?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Dope,
Yes, of
dope. I
course.
would like to see that one day. See my boy in
Of
action.
course,
You feel me?
I made it
And-
a point. You know, when I first started, it was still turntables. You know what I'm saying? But everything's transitioned to controllers now, even in
Absolutely,
nightclubs. So.
absolutely. And the thing you said about quality, I agree 100% with that
Right.
because artists, you know, for as long as I've been in this industry, they come to me for advice too. And I tell them all the time, invest in the quality of your music
Right.
and the presentation and everything. And I know Digger brought that up at the panel discussion about how you carry yourself, how you look, how you present yourself. You're
Right.
a brand. You know what I'm saying? So quality from the music to you as an artist, from
Your
head to
personal
toe.
appearance. That's right.
Exactly. All that matters, and I agree with that. And that's all I wanted to say.
And it's not fair as if 2 artists are making music and you're investing time and energy and effort and money into your music, and the other person's not doing nothing but just recording from their crib and thinking they could just put it out because, you know, it's easy to put music out. It's just not fair. Like, if y'all making good music, why is this person investing so much time, energy, money into their craft, to their music, and getting overlooked, and there's someone not caring about it? I'm gonna just record this and put it out because I could. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to consider that too. It's like, who's really, you know, investing in himself? From everything, from quality, the appearance, to all. You see the difference too. Like, as a DJ, we can see the difference. Like, you're really investing in yourself, and you're just doing it because you feel like it's easy and you have access to it. It's 2 different type of energies. So we spot that as well.
That's right.
All right, so our next question / guest. First of all, this is Coach T. Come
Coach
on,
T.
Coach T. Coach T is in the building. This is Westside High School. Let me tell you something about this black man. This man right here, he is the reason that we have the high school students that put out the Lyrics Matter EP. Coach T, I want you to come up here. Because this is like the work that goes into pouring into the children, that we have actually made a thing that got the attention
Coach
of
T
DJ
actually
Drewski.
did the production on
The production,
on the
exactly.
CD that we produced.
So clap it up for Coach T. I want Coach T to come up here and say something to the people.
First of all, thank you so much. I apologize, people. I'm usually here early. I was with the babies, like you say. We had a parent night tonight, so I had to be there.
Night, very
Parent teacher
important.
night. That's the
Very
one night you
important.
can't miss. But yes, I was so blessed, juicy pleasure, honor to be here. Peace. I just want to thank Rod Digger publicly for. This was always a vision in the city. Music, technology, production is on the rise. Finally, education is understanding its importance as far as literacy and social emotion connections, and just being able to get I call my room the place where they can just, let go. And those emotions come out through music. And Rod Digger was so gracious enough to do her program there. We look forward to more. So please continue to support, because our babies are geniuses. They're using this equipment, which I happen to walk in at the right time. They're expressing themselves in ways. We have rappers, we have artists, we have singers. They're letting the pain out. I just feel blessed to be part of that. Engineers, yes, engineers. Learn the ins and outs. My thing was, it's great. A's and B's are gold. We grew up that way, but what can you do with that talent? Can you produce? Can I send you to a Drewski? Can I send you to Rod Digger? Can you understand how to work the board? Do you know what goes on as far as jobs? So I thank you, Rod, publicly. You know that I had to come down, and any program like this, I'm here. So thank you. It's a pleasure. My God.
Big ups, Coach T.
Big ups. Lyrics matter.
I'm
Lyrics
glad you
do
said
matter.
engineers, because a lot of times people just want to be the artist and don't understand how important them other roles are. Producers and engineers and just people in the background that do so much. You cannot just be an artist these days and think you're going to pop. You need that team around you, and you need those type of people around you, good producers, good engineers. So if you are an engineer, producer in here, thank you for what you do, because the artist couldn't do what they do without these people. The DJ couldn't do it. So I feel like everybody just wants to be an artist, wants to shine.
What's interesting, right? The artist development portion of my program, what I do is like everyone will come in and say, "Oh, I want to be a rapper."
Right.
But what I find out just through trial and error is like who really has the chops for it. Because let's not waste each other's time. Like I want you to be realistic about your aspirations. So you may not make it as an artist, but you have a hell of a personality. You can be the PR person. You can be the hype man.
Right.
You can be, you're good with math. You can be the accountant. You're quiet. I've had students that come in my class and don't be the artist, and then the quiet fly on the wall in the class. I put her in the booth, and she's singing falsetto now. It's like, wait, whoa, all that little voice was in you. So I help bring out the things, bring things out of them that oftentimes they're not even aware that
there's a lot of opportunity there. You don't have to just be the artist. That man right there with the camera is as equal importance as an artist, because if you're making music,
he got the bulk of the budget tonight, just so we clear.
Exactly. But that's how important that position is. Because all the rapping and writing and studios and events you're performing at, if nobody's seeing it, if you're not capturing
the sound man and the videographer.
Very
we're
important.
just the rapper and the DJ.
Right. Like, shout out to the cameraman, the people that edit, because that's as important. In 2026, if you're not getting this footage, everything you're doing.
It's for nothing.
It's for nothing. So
Content. Okay, we have our next question. Introduce yourself, brother.
Peace and blessings, everybody. My name is Karev. I represent Heritage Hip Hop. It's a pleasure to be around everybody today. Sir, nice to meet you. Queen,
Peace.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Peace.
So my question is, we are in the revolution age of media and technology, and now podcasting has become one of the premier avenues where people are letting their story be told. My question to you as a podcaster and somebody who represents hip-hop culture from the ground up is, how do we form a relationship where radio and podcasting can work together to help break artists or teach artists what they need to know, so that that gap can be filled and there's more of a fluid and a cooperative relationship between the DJ and the podcaster who's working together to give the artist what they need to grow.
Right. I think
We're doing that right here.
I was gonna say I think it's actually happening.
Man,
right in front of
right
us.
here. It's happening right here. Clap it up. It's happening right here. Clap, 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 because it's happening now.
Right. And not even, you see some of these big companies like iHeart Radio, who now have iHeart Podcasting, who's putting it on Netflix. So you see these big changes happening. So to answer your question, I think it is happening right in front of us right now, and it's going to continue to do that. And I think that's going to become a norm too. Like, it's just going to be normal.
Yeah, it's like things are just kind of there's definitely a movement happening.
Right.
And then once it fully manifests, and we're like, oh, that's what that was. Like, we didn't realize when Nori formed Drink Champs that we just thought it was a bunch of fools getting on the camera and getting drunk, and like, fast forward, that is literally going to be our hip hop history.
Right.
That's going to be Black history. Those are going to be stories that are going to be forever etched in the annals when whatever administration tries to erase it. You understand?
Wow. Mm-hmm. Did y'all just pick up what she just put down? I don't know if y'all did that. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. So Janessa Miranda, this is Janessa Miranda. When we want to talk about Newark artists, real quick, I've been bugging her all day since she's been here. She's an independent artist who just put out her full EP, Drewski album. No, you and her need to connect on some real, because she's been in these Newark streets performing independently for over a decade? Over a decade. I don't even want to, because you might break our sound system with the vocals that she's got. But Janessa she's been a big supporter.
And I hate to compare artists to people or say you're just like such and such. But if there's anybody out here with some vocal chops that can give Shaka Khan a run for her money, it's that one right there.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling. I get a feeling that I never had before. No. Okay. I wanted to I wanted to answer your question real quick before I ask mine, because here at Express Newark, they actually started a podcast workshop for everyone that you can all apply. They just closed it because they did their second class, but you basically learn through a professor how to create your own podcast. And then at the end of the semester, you all graduate together and you present your podcasts to your friends and loved ones. So I highly suggest that you look up into this space and see if you can join in the next one. I wanted to answer that question. Also, this industry is a lot. We all know that. We know that as artists, especially as authentic artists. Hearing you speak about everything that you've done for artists is really powerful. And not a lot of people do that work. And so I want to thank you for that, first and foremost.
Thank you.
What would you say you wish somebody would have told you before you entered the industry? What advice do you think you would say?
That's a good one, because I feel like everything I wish I knew, it actually worked out that I didn't know it, because I learned it on my own and I was able to digest it on my own terms, my own way, and learn. So, like you said, it's a tough industry, and one thing I probably knew already because it's very public and you hear it all the time is like, you know, it's not the nicest industry. It's not the nicest people, right? People are always conniving and scamming and just trying to get over it. They'll use you. They'll abuse you. You know, radio stations, you don't own a radio station, and you can put in 25 years at the station, and if they decide when they wake up one day, we're over it, that, you know, you're gone. So it's like having that tough skin and understanding, if you don't own your music or own your position, you can be like, go quick. And I just learned that over time. No one told me, but you just start paying attention to your surroundings. And I seen some people that we would look up to like as greats in radio, and they're just kind of like let go like nothing, and it hurts. But it's like, yo, at the end of the day, it's business, and that's what the people that don't come from where we come from or hip hop culture, it's just business to them. It's not even personal. You get people that come in that don't even know who you are, what you do for that company. It's just, you know, but they work or own the radio station or work or own the business. And it's just about business. And it's once you learn that, you kind of realize, okay, I got to do what's best for me, and understand that it's business. But no one told me that. I kind of just learned it as I went along. But even for artists, like the music is one thing. The music business is a whole separate thing. You got to understand that.
Mic drop on that. Did y'all pick up what he's putting down? Did y'all pick up what he's putting down? Because sometimes we've had to learn that the hard way. Now I'm going to give the mic over to, this is, see, we have so many greats in the building. Coach T, Janetta Miranda. We got Dr. Donette Green in the building. Okay, PhD. Come on now. She's into social emotional intelligence, which is something we address here at the Lyrics Matter Foundation. Dr. Green has a question.
So my question, first of all, you two are amazing. And, you know, Twin, we are just there, right?
Yes. And we got to say birthday,
Come
girl.
on, Twin.
Twin it.
So one of the things that we know is that when it comes to hip hop and the culture that you guys have been so, you know, down in the substance of invested in, right? It comes with a lot of confidence, and it comes with a lot of competition.
Oh, yes.
And so for longevity, you have to have some type of emotional discipline that goes with that.
Right.
And so how have you been able to channel or handle ego and pressure and, you know, just the things that happen around and negativity and rejection without losing your authentic self in it all?
For me, and I've been blessed to come from, you know, even though I grew up with a single parent, but my father was still in my life. I think I just come from humble beginnings, and just, you know, both parents, the qualities that my dad, a hard worker, my mom, a caring person, and just applying that to myself and always remaining humble no matter what opportunities I got. But the competition part, and I'm sure for Rod, that's what fuels us. Like without the competition, I don't even know if we would be as hungry to continue to grow. So I embrace the competition because And I don't look at it, I don't say, oh, it's competition. It's just like a fuel for me. Because I already tell myself, they can't beat me. Like, you know what I'm saying? They can't outwork me. But I'm glad you're trying because it's gonna keep me going. And I use that competition aspect as fuel to keep growing and keep, reinventing myself and staying, outside helps too. Like a lot of people are not outside, and I'm like, oh, you think you're gonna beat me? You're not even in tune to what's going on. So I already know I got a head start, and just from the ground roots is what really helps me, and just being around great-minded people and like-minded people and the hunger. That's why I like new artists, because their hunger and energy motivates me. So that's why I like to surround myself with new artists and new music, because it's just a refreshing feeling. There's no bitterness. It's like they're really trying to grow, and it helps me grow too. But Rock can speak on competition.
Well,
Ain't none.
I thrive on it.
Ain't no competition.
I thrive on it. To me, it is my driving force. Like I definitely get more excited to get on other people's records and compete with them on their own records than I am to sit in the studio and lock myself in a room and try to get my own stuff out. That's why there's a million such and such featuring Rod Digger and 2 Rod Digger albums in the last 20-something years. But it's always been a competitive spirit with hip hop. I think we've seen it, we've seen it kind of go off track in certain instances, but for the most part, the origin of it was to settle those neighborhood differences. That's when Kool Herc had, okay, the Bronx is beefing with Brooklyn. We're going to have y'all come to the park and just duke it out.
Right.
I think there is a healing process happening between like the OGs, the veterans, and the YNs, as we call them. I think we are seeing that bridging of the gap. I think the youngins are more susceptible to listening to an old head now, and vice versa. I think a lot of the veterans are kind of getting out of their stuck ways and understanding that, okay, if we do want to continue to thrive in this industry, we also have to adapt as well. So it's happening.
Right. And it is a mental toll too on you, like just going through that competition part, but just the business in general. And I think for me, you have to remind yourself like how far you've come, right? And it's
I'm sorry, I hope I answered the question. Okay.
It was like a 2-part question she
Okay.
had.
No, this is a whole podcast in itself.
I here for a minute, so I was afraid I missed some of your questions.
Say more podcasts coming soon.
Right.
That's a whole other episode of this thing, right? The social emotional intelligence that it takes to be an artist independently. So our brother here, we got 3 more questions before we wrap it up. My brother, take it away.
Blessings. My name is Daniel. I don't have the 3 questions. I could. I'm clarifying. I'm speaking to myself, okay? Let me see what the Spirit wanted me to ask right now. But my name is Daniel. I'm the founder of Christian Innovate, organization at the intersection of faith, workforce development. We are builder believers, building for the next 5, 50, and 500 years, redemptive enterprises. My website is danspeakslife.com. So the power of voice is so important to me. Power of music, as someone who grows up in the church and serves in the church. And I love what Lyrics Matter is doing to empower the young people, the intersection of STEM, culture, entrepreneurship. That's exactly what we need right now. But my question right now is about the power of message and mission. So, and I feel like I'm with my people, right? I used to rap in high school. Y'all talked about technique. You talked about the science of it, right? The DJ y'all are hackers, is what it is. So my question is, when we talked about technique, we talked about the business, all these forces around. What about the message? What messages do we need more? I'm looking at a La Russell cleaning up right now and getting movement. What messages do you want to see more of?
I guess, should I take that away? Or
You can kick it.
Okay, I'll start. I would like to see more artists speak truth to power, because there is a lot of capping going on, and there's nothing, there's nothing wrong with being braggadocious in hip hop. I mean, we love to see it. Sometimes we need to see it. Sometimes it's inspirational to us, but we do know that we influence a lot of the generation, and sometimes not for the best. So it would be nice to see, especially if you're one of those artists where you're very charged, or if you're one of those where as soon as you tweet, like, you're super viral. If you are one of those people, I would love to see more of those people use their power for good. And it doesn't, I'm not expecting artists to just jump out here and get extra political and stuff like that, because that's a weird dichotomy, because we get mad when artists don't speak up, but when they speak up, we get mad at them. So that's one of those, like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You just have to be confident enough to, like, stand in whatever it is you're saying. But I think if more artists were just responsible with, hey, I know this is what I'm saying in music and stuff, but in real life, this is what it is, and y'all should be aware.
Right. I have to agree. I think it's just comes down to the truth part, and not just chasing trends and hoping, like, oh, if this is a trend, I'm going to try to follow that and, capitalize off of it. I think, just being true to yourself as an artist and creating art that's true, that's what we're all looking for. The consumer, the DJ, the art, like, everyone is just looking for truth. So I think that's very important. As artists do create, they just give us the real, and just not trying to follow a trend.
And we appreciate you, DJ Drewski, for being here and doing this with us tonight. Clap it up. Now, y'all got to keep the energy up, because it's only 2 more questions, right? Because,
Well, if you find yourself getting restless in your seat,
nah.
feel free to wander to the merch table.
To the merch table. We still selling raffle tickets, too, for the Rod Digger blinged out hockey jersey. You know what I'm saying?
It's not
Go over
blinged
here
out. It's
and
sequence.
get it's sequence. Blinged out sequence. Everything that Digger do, if you know her, involves sparkles of some nature. So
I'm a shimmery bitch.
It involves sparkles of some nature.
Like
so just know it's sparkles. All right. So this young man has our second to last question. Keep it brief, my brother. Go ahead.
I go by the name of Khalil Gibran, Devon Ron with the mind of an Einstein, Jersey artist. Okay. I was at the coaching meeting that you guys had. It was a beautiful meeting, but I was just heartbroken on the fact that I felt like when we was talking, there was a lot of Jersey club talk. And I don't feel like today, in this decade, Jersey has a hip-hop identity. And that just kind of made me think a lot. Where do we get that? How do we create the ecosystem? And I want to connect back to that point with LaRussell. LaRussell was independent for a very, very long time. And he said he felt like he hit a ceiling that he had to get on radio. So I'm interested with you to know, what's the economics and ecosystem behind putting budgets into program directors in the radios, and how does independent artists combat something like that?
Right. So if you follow LaRussell, you see he put in years of work in building it on his own, and him and his team created it to the point where they had Jay-Z come to them. Now, he never complained. He didn't say, oh, the Bay Area, there's no new artists. Nobody's supporting me. He just continued to work and create opportunities for himself, whether that was doing shows in his backyard and bringing artists to him and connecting himself with bigger artists, because that's a cheat code too, is getting a Rod Digger on your song. You're going to get more eyes, more ears on it. So he utilized those opportunities to do that, to the point where he felt like he reached a ceiling. So that's incredible work on his part as an artist to get to that point. But that was just him being consistent and connecting first with the Bay Area artists that were bigger than him. So if you're a Jersey artist, whoever's out there working, try to, connect yourself with them. Whether it's, Free Sue Surf, whoever it is that you look up to, the type of music you make, start connecting yourself with bigger artists. And that goes back into investing. Al might not want to do a feature for free for you, but if you know it's going to help you grow and you got to pay, that's part of the business of the music. You cannot pay program directors to play your song. It don't work like that. But you can invest money into digital marketing. So now you have someone putting your music on TikTok videos, on social media videos, whether it's the soundtrack, the background of the video. You're paying influencers to post your music, and that's what helps. Go ahead. That's typically when you get to a record label.
That's like above our pay grade. That's
right.
That's like record label business.
Right. But your goal as an artist, because you cannot do that, is to get to a record label if you cannot do it independently at that level. And that's why you see last week LaResto said, I'm gonna sign to Rock Nation, because there's some things he cannot do, and he understands that being connected to a label could help him get to that next level. Not that he really needed it, but to grow as an artist, he understood the importance of that. He could have still been doing his shows, getting his money independently, selling his albums independently, and making a great living. But if you want to grow, at some point, he realized I have to do that. But it's just really being consistent and building your brand, not just a song. It's just building your brand as an artist to the point where people are coming to you, like I said earlier. Right. Like he did it where even us on the East Coast, we might not even listen to West Coast type of music, but you knew who he was, you knew his name. Never heard his song on the radio here in New York or Jersey. So he just did it consistently and made all the right moves. And he says it, he spits game, how much he invested on social media and putting his music out. So it's like, why wouldn't you follow that formula if you see it works? That's sometimes I say to artists, who's your favorite artist? Is it NBA Youngboy? Is it Drake? Look at what they do, the type of content they put out, the quality of music they put out. You cannot play a Drake record and then play your record and it sounds totally different. How can you even compete or want Drake's spot on the radio if you
right?
You know what I'm saying?
If a DJ has to spin your record and he got to coming off of a Drake record, get ready to go into Travis Scott record, you want that symmetry there. But I will say this: don't Jersey Club? It's just a popping thing.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, well, if you from Jersey and you don't make club music, you're not gonna make it. It's definitely not like that at all.
SZA's from Jersey, Coi Leray's from Jersey. They don't make club records. SZA's one of the biggest artists in the world, when it comes to what we do. So there's a lot of opportunity. And I say, use Jersey Club as an identity to get people to pay attention and maybe come look at other artists. Because once you open the door, then everyone wants to flood, what's going on in Jersey, right? So if it's taking a Jersey Club record to do that, cool. Whatever works to get people to pay attention to the state, I'm with.
And we had to stamp it that because artists is coming from everywhere else tapping our Jersey Club producers. So we had to let it be known this is Jersey Club.
Right.
This ain't just y'all drill. This is Jersey Club that y'all drilling to. So
and before we get our final comment or question, clap it up once again for Digga and Drewski because they actually live in this shit. Everything that they're talking about, they're living, which is why Drewski is here. Right, which is why we have the independent artist that is here, which is why we have Rod Digga here, and we have this foundation. So I'm gonna bring up one of the more premier movers and shakers here in the Newark, because see, what we're doing in the city of Newark is we're creating space for artists, right? So don't take any of this for granted. Show up to anything that Lyrics Matter does, anything that these arts organizations do, anything that you see Janetta and Miranda do, Drewski does, Rod Digga does. Make sure that we share amongst ourselves because this is the community that we're talking about. And with that,
I always say share the plug.
Before her question, because you spoke on Newark and just the city alone, I want to big up the current administration too, the mayor.
Amen.
Because when they told me, we're bringing Hot 97 Summer Jam back to Newark. Last year they did it at the Prudential Center. And the first thought I had was, okay, it's coming to Newark, it's coming to Jersey, even though it was at, MetLife for years. But I'm like, nah, we got to do something special. And the current administration, the mayor's office and myself partnered and did a festival stage outside of Prudential. And we made sure that half of that show went to Newark artists. It was Newark artists, and that was part of their deal is, we'll support it, but we want to make sure we give enough space. And it was maybe like 10 Newark artists that got to perform at Hot 97 Summer Jam just off of that.
Amen.
that
Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
up.
We have several levels.
So if you are from Newark or you live in
that's
Newark,
right.
the city's doing a lot, even behind the scenes. It wasn't even broadcasted, but I'm like, from behind the scenes, I'm like, yo, I respect that because they said, we'll support it, but we want to make sure we have Newark artists touch that stage and perform that day of Summer Jam. And I salute the administration for doing that.
Dope.
And on that note, we're going to bring up the executive director of the space that we're actually in right now, right? Because when we talk about this space, right, this is Express Newark, the Hain Building. If anyone knows the history of this building and what the arts community here in Newark has accomplished by even having this space open, and it's run by this beautiful Black woman right here who goes by the name of Natasha Dyer. Clap it up for her. She is the executive director of all this. So if you're in this space and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to do an event here, I want to have a photo shoot, I want to do my podcast, I want to shoot a music video, whatever it is that you want to do, this is the Black woman that runs this network that you need to speak to. Natasha, take it away.
Thank you. So as she mentioned, my name is Natasha Dyer, and I'm actually Deputy Director here at Express Newark. First, I want to thank DJ Drewski and the entire Lyrics Matter team for collaborating with us on this residency.
Thank you.
And for sharing your wisdom and knowledge with the community. As a Newark native, I just want to commend you both and remind you all that genius does grow here, right? And this is a testament to that. Along with that, I want to share some information on resources that will be pertinent. We are home to a number of studios. Shine Portrait Studio is one of them. And another one is our Community Media Center, which offers free F-R-E-E training on podcasting and videography. We do offer a 6-week podcasting course, which is free for Newark residents. And our Community Media Center will train you on the use of video camera equipment and editing technology. And as a CMC member, you will gain free access to our editing labs, our equipment, and our knowledge base to produce your own materials. Now, that information is on our website if you visit us, and you can follow us on Instagram at Express Newark to find out more. I think Janetta mentioned that the application recently closed, but we do this on an annual basis. It usually comes out in the summer. And if you like anything you heard tonight, please join us again in April and May as this residency continues.
Yes. Wow. Look, I don't know what y'all heard, but I heard free.
Residency.
I heard a lot of free.
And we would be remiss if we didn't mention that the fact that the Lyrics Matter Foundation has sparked up a residency here at this venue with Shine Portrait Studio, who will be supporting our movement, our students, and all of our events. So everybody stay tuned, stay posted. I'm going to let Drewski and Digga have their final comments and final thoughts, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be mixing and mingling, taking pictures. You know, you can still buy raffle tickets and merch, but I will let them have the final word.
Are we done with questions? Did anybody else have?
Absolutely, yes. We're done with questions.
Any last questions? Going once, going twice?
Hand up.
Last call for alcohol.
All right. I just want to say, again, thank you all for coming, and for the artists and creative persons who are in the building. Just, take everything that we're saying. This will be released as a podcast episode, and at some point you'll all see that stuff permeating through social media. But definitely just know that it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and you got to be 1,000% in it. You can't be 50% in it and 50% in something else, and just expect everything to fall in line for you. Some you're gonna have to sacrifice something at some point, and you have to be real with yourself and where you are in your life. It ain't for everybody. Like oftentimes, real life will get in the way, but that's okay, because it's not what brings you down. It's how you bounce back from it. It's how you rise from it. So if this is your calling and you are serious about it, please, there are so many resources. I'm extremely accessible sometimes, but there will be all type of information for you to reach out to Lyrics Matter. There's QR codes there's postcards all over the room. RoddiggaMusic.com is the website to find out about everything going on with me as far as the Roddigga the artist. LyricsMatterFoundation.org on the other side of the card is everything going on with the foundation, but you will find, the information is interchangeable. So please make sure everyone takes one of those cards. Subscribe to the websites. Keep up with us regularly because we are constantly doing events. We do these here. We do these in we take the show all over town. So please make sure you subscribe to our newsletter so you can find out keep abreast of all the information. And we love a good donation. I'm just saying, we got, it takes a village.
Right. And me still sitting up here, just, being here myself and everyone here, like, thank you, because I don't even understand if people realize how important it is to have someone like you who fought. It couldn't have been easy as a female artist coming up from Jersey, all the obstacles, all the fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All the work.
Clap it up one time. Let's go.
Clap
it up for Roddigga.
It's that saying, like, Rod walked so Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and all them could run. They are running.
Is she the drama?
Right. It's really, it's just like to be in a room with someone like yourself. Like, thank you. But I want people to understand how much of an opportunity it is just to be able to listen to you. Like you said,
I definitely put that.
I don't think for me. It's sometimes I'm like, yo, do they even understand?
I definitely put my 10,000 hours in, and I was screaming Brick City, Jersey the whole way, all the way to the big screen.
But not even just hip hop, screaming female hip hop. Like you probably so numb to it that you ain't even realize what you were going through at the time to be a successful hip hop artist. A female.
All I knew is I had to have the best verse on the record.
That's right.
That's all I knew.
Come on, Flowers. Let's go. Clap it up for Roddigga.
Yes.
And Drewski, we love you. Clap it up.
Who said that? 'Cause we live in the flesh talking about some hip